Hi BookTube! My name is Sarah and welcome to the Bookish Knitter. And welcome to another weekly reading vlog. This is for week number 45? 46, I can't remember, it doesn't matter. Today's the 12th of November. Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Diwali for anyone who celebrates. I can hear fireworks outside. Some of the neighbors are actually setting off fireworks, so that's kind of cool. I heard them last night too. I was like, wait, why are we setting off fireworks on Remembrance Day or Veterans Day for my friends in the States? I'm like, oh wait, it's also Diwali. So, yeah, it's been a bit of a busy day. Garrett and I were out and about quite a bit today. The usual groceries and stuff like that. And I did a little bit of exercise. I'm very proud of myself. I know it doesn't seem like much. Like there are some of you who are probably like gym rats who are like out at the gym every day. And like I mentioned before, I think in my last vlog that I've been told that I really need to start exercising. And I got thinking about it today mostly. I'm like, okay, tomorrow I should really go to the mall at lunch and do some walking. And I'm like, I know me. And I will be the first to admit it. I am lazy. I am inherently lazy. And I thought, like I mentioned last week, I'm like, I'm not going to go after work because I just know I'm not. And then I started thinking about going at lunch and I'm like, oh, I'm going to go downstairs, get in my car, drive over to the mall or walk over to the mall and then walk around the mall and then walk back. I'm like, I know I won't do it. I know I won't. And I'm like, but it's so important that I have to do it. This is something I have to do. How am I going to do this to make sure I do it? Like get my walking in. This afternoon, I put on one of the Walk Away the Pounds videos on YouTube, and I walked for 20 minutes here. I actually broke a sweat, you guys, like legit, and I got my heart rate up. So, you know, it's not just walking in places like knee lifts and stuff like that. So I was really pleased with myself, and I'm like, I'm here. I can do that without watching the video. I can just like put in like knee lifts and like side steps and stuff like that as I'm doing this walking here in my room just in place. And Garrett's like, yeah, that's a great workout. Like he goes, if you get like, you know, a set of hand weights to give you a little bit more, that's what he said he's going to do. For me, I really don't need that kind of resistance training as much. It's more the cardio for me. But I mean, I'm going to be here watching a YouTube video anyway. Why not get some steps in while I'm doing it? So let's see how that goes. But I'm very pleased. So I did hit my step count for today. My step count is only 5,000. We're starting small. But, you know, as someone who did not exercise at all, last summer I was walking around so much. Was it last summer? Yeah, after summer of 2022. And this year, like, forget it. It just, everything went downhill. So anyway, so I'm very pleased with myself for doing that today. What else I did today, Garrett and I, so when I finished my exercise here and all that stuff, I was like, okay, my step count's 5,000. I looked at my watch and I was at 4,200 or something. I'm like, I need another 800 steps. So Garrett's like, let's go to the thrift store. He goes, we'll walk around. And I'm like, okay, because we both like walking around and looking at the things. And all reality, we weren't going to buy anything. But then we went and looked at the books and I eat the cake. It's my new motto in life right now is eat the cake. You have no idea how long you're going to be here. Buy stuff that may, you know, within reason. I mean, don't go broke. You know, don't be going to the casino. Don't be, you know, within reason. But if you've got a couple extra dollars and you want to treat yourself to a new book, then you know what? Buy the book. Eat the cake. That's my new thing in life. So I did buy a couple of used books at the thrift store. So give me 1 second. Let me reach over and grab them. Okay, so here we are. So all of these were kind of picked up for very specific reasons. It wasn't just a random, oh, let's grab 5 because I'm here. So it's buy 4, get 1 free. So, and they're all like $1.50 each. So the first one I got is called Sarah and the Rogue by Dolores Scott, even though Sarah is spelt incorrectly. Argue that on with me. I am obviously Sarah, spelt with an H, the correct way. So yeah, so Sarah and the Rogue by Dolores Scott. This is a Harlequin historical Western. She was in this for the long haul. Yeah, looked really good. Had my name on it, so I had to buy it. Literally had my name on it. Garrett found this one, which is an old Regency romance, the Harlequin Regencies, which are hard to find because this line didn't last for that long. I mean, I know if you get the Harlequin historicals now, you're getting Regencies, but there was a very specific Regency line that was put out. So this is Beauty and the Beastie by Emily Dalton. She would never be tamed and he would never regret it. So yeah, this is number 59 in the series. Oh, I'm so happy he found. He's got such a good eye when we go to the thrift store. I got an Old American Romance. Anytime I see these, I do like to pick them up just because I do love them so much. So we have How to Marry the Boy Next Door by Molly Morley. This came out in December of 04 and it's number 1048. Looks festive, like there's like garland with lights. So I don't know if it actually takes place over Christmas or, you know, if just part of it takes place at Christmas. But anyway, like I said, anytime I see these old American romances, I do like picking them up. And then this was a Christmas one that I spied, and I thought, okay, let's go for this one. And this is an old Harlequin romance novel. And this is Silver Bells by Val Daniels. This came out in December of 1990. So yeah. And last but not least, I saw this one and I'm like, I always look for the old intrigues because I love the intrigue books. And I kind of half pulled this one off the shelf just to see. And as soon as I saw the cover, I went, yes, please, this is coming home with me. So this is No Pain, No Gain by Edwina Franklin. The reason it jumped out at me, that is Toronto, CN Tower, and the Sky Dome. This is from October of 1990. It's number 148. It looks so good. I was reading the back of it. It's like, she's a reporter and he's like, he's a detective and, you know, so, and Toronto. Takes place in Toronto. How could you not love that? Sorry about that, friends. So, let's talk about some reading. Let's talk about what I'm reading, and I finished a book today, you guys, which is fantastic. So, today I finished reading A Victorian Family Christmas by, I just want to make sure I get the authors right, Carla Kelly, Carol Arns, and Eva Shepherd. So there were 3 short stories in this one. They were all super cute. I'm giving the collection as a whole 4 stars. But each individual story, like I definitely liked a couple of them more than the other. So the first one is called A Father for Christmas by Carla Kelly, and it is about a woman who is a widow, and one day this guy shows up on her front door, and he had been in a... So this one actually takes place during the Civil War. I mean, they all take place during Victorian times, but during the Civil War. And he was crossing from New York, or from Massachusetts to England, and the ship was pirated, I guess, for lack of a better term, by Confederate soldiers. And they were all taken hostage, and then he ended up, like, very quickly getting off the boat by being pushed by another passenger to deliver a message. And then he shows up on this woman's front door, and it's at Christmas time, and she has to hide him. And that was my favorite story out of all 3 of them. I absolutely loved it. The second one was called A Kiss Under the Mistletoe by Carol Arns, which was about a woman who wasn't a single mom herself. He was a single father, sort of. The girl was a ward of his, essentially. And his house in London was being redone over the next year, and he needed a place to stay, so he was renting out her estate. Well, she was married to a baron, but the baron died, and there was no money, and so she was renting out this thing, but living in the cottage, and he meets her, and he thinks that she's actually a servant to the baroness, because he's heard some pretty bad things about the baroness, and he's like, well, she's kind of mean and witchy and whatever. She's a husband hunter kind of an idea. She's looking for her next fortune. And that's obviously not true. And it's a mistaken identity thing, but she never corrects him. And then the 2 of them fall for each other, and the story goes from there. This is my second favorite story. And my least favorite, it was still good, but it was my least favorite, was The Earl's Unexpected Gifts by Eva Shepherd. So in this one, again, he gets these 2 children who are wards. They were a distant cousin's children, and the distant cousins passed away. So the children and their governess come and live at his estate. And the reason this one didn't sit with me is because it was an insta-love. I'm not a fan of those. Like, the romance between the 2 of them takes place over, like, days. Like, just days. And yeah, and the fact they're in different stations, and that keeps getting mentioned because she's a governess and he's like an earl. And this one was also a little bit spicier than the first 2. The first 2 were what I would consider more proper Victorian romances, where you didn't get any hanky-panky. I mean, that was like not even alluded to, because nothing happens. But, like, you know, when you get from the male's perspective, you're hearing like some of the thoughts he has. But nothing ever happens, and it's all very proper. I'm not saying that you know, adult relations are improper. That's not what I'm saying at all. But for the time period, for what was that just seemed, does that make, am I making sense here? I'm not sounding like a prude because you know I'm not, but I'm just saying, you know, that was the situation. So yeah, I did an overall, I thought it was a really great fun anthology. And if you're looking for a great Christmas anthology, you'll really like this one. I mean, Victorian times, so you had Christmas trees and, you know, all those things that Queen Victoria started to do when she came in, you know, like when, you know, she married Albert and, you know, he brought the Christmas tree from Germany. I think that's how it goes. And, you know, there's great scenes in here where in one of the books, the children are going sledding in the snow, and it's very heartwarming, very family, very Christmas. I really liked it a lot. So that was the book that I finished today, finally. I've been reading it for way too long. At least I felt like I've been reading it for way too long. I had not been having a good reading week last week, but now we are back on track, thankfully. So what am I currently reading, you might be asking? So the book that I had started on Friday, and I'm about halfway through at this point, is called, I should have opened this up and taken it out to show you guys, is A Holiday Switch by Tiff Marcello. This is a young adult contemporary holiday romance. It's cute. I'm 50% of the way through it. I will get it done tomorrow on audio at work for sure, because it's not very long on audio. It comes in at under 300 pages, but I might read a few chapters tonight, but I'm definitely going to finish it tomorrow on audio. So I will talk more about it then, so I'm not like rehashing the same thing over and over again. And then just while I was eating my dinner just now, I started reading my next Harlequin book that I am reading on my Sage, which I love this device so much. Holiday at Mistletoe Cottage by Nancy Robards Thompson. This is the second book in the McFadden's of Tinsley Cove. This is a special edition novel. I don't know if you can see that up there. And like I said, second in the series. I read the first book last month that I really enjoyed. So this is about one of the other brothers, and she comes back to town after her grandmother's death, and she's very quickly trying to leave town, but something happens and I guess she can't leave as quickly as she was hoping. And then she runs into Forrest, who's our main male lead, and something happened between the two of them when they were in high school, and second chance romance. I'm excited. I'm enjoying it so far. So yay on that one. And last but not least, I will be starting another Babysitters Club book tonight. Logan Likes Marianne by Ann M. Martin, book number 10. This is the only copy of this I have. I don't have the original cover, so this is the redone cover, which I think is delightful anyway. I think I actually like it more than the original cover. Again, because my complaint with a lot of the original covers is how old the babysitters looked. In this one, they actually look about 13. So yeah, so I will be starting this one tonight. But anyway, guys, that's it. I'm going to let you go, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Hi, friends. Happy Monday. Today is the 13th of November, and it is just before 7 at night. So I am here to quickly film a little update for you for today. Then I'm going to be jumping into sprints over on Lee's channel. Speaking of which, I should get that ready while I'm talking to you guys. But yeah, so reading update for today. So I did finish a book. I finished reading The Holiday Switch by Tiff Marcello. I gave it 3.5 stars. I didn't particularly love it. I found it like... So the whole plot about these two people, like these two teenagers, she is 18, he is 19. And she is hiding the fact that she is a book blogger from her parents, and he is hiding the fact that he enjoys rock climbing from his family. And then they accidentally switch phones because they work together, and they learn each other's secrets, so it's kind of all about keeping secrets and, you know, things like that. So, and it takes place over Christmas, of course, in this very holiday-themed town called Holly, and it's in upstate New York, and its big claim to fame is that years and years ago there was a very well-known holiday movie that was filmed there, and they've kind of run with this. Like, the two of them work in the gift shop for this movie, but to me the movie sounded like something like a Hallmark movie. And I mean, I get people love stuff like that, like You've Got Mail or whatever the movie happens to be, but the fact that a town can build its entire, like, tourism up, I just... little far-fetched on a few things, but I mean, it was a Christmas romance. It was cute. It was a little angsty, and again, as an adult, you're kind of like, all right, kids, you know, like, you know, but I guess that as a teenager, we would have all thought and done the same thing. There is, of course, the romance between Lila and Teddy, which are our two main characters. It was cute. I really liked the town. I thought that that was a lot of fun. Like some of the names of the places, like Scrooged is the local diner, and I just thought that was adorable. Also, like I said, Lila writes this book blog, and it's called Tinsel and Tropes. And she literally, all she reads are Christmas stories, whether they be romances, cozy mysteries, you know, thrillers. And all I could think of part of it was, well, what if they're part of series already that don't have other holiday books in the, you know what I mean? Like we all read cozy mysteries or romances, that the series might only have 1 or 2 Christmas stories in it, but the rest like take place at other times of the year. I'm thinking, does she read the other ones? But she reviews them, and it's really, really cute. I like that part of it a lot. But still, at the end of the day, I didn't love this one. 3.5 stars. So what am I currently reading? I am about 4 chapters into Holiday at Mistletoe Cottage by Nancy Robarts Thompson. I'm in a Christmas mood, you guys. It's just what I need. So this is a Harlequin special edition novel, and really cute so far. Our main character, Avery, her grandmother just passed away. She is a professional photographer for a like journalism magazine where she travels all over the world, and she, you know, takes pictures of things, and she's a photojournalist. And she finds out her grandmother is sick. She quickly goes back to Tinsley Cove, and she's too late. Her grandmother's already passed away, left her house. And then this is not a spoiler because it literally all happens in the 1st and 2nd chapter, that the magazine she was working for is forced to shut down because, you know, they just don't have the money. They can't continue to run. So she's back in town. This is a second chance romance with this guy in high school who she feels did her wrong. But already they had a discussion about it. And like, I mean, in like the 3rd or 4th chapter. And it turns out that it wasn't what she thought it was. And he had no idea it even happened. So anyway, it's a whole thing, but she still holds this resentment for him. Like I said, her name is Avery. His name is Forrest. I'd like to get this done in the next day or so because I want to move on to another book after this one. Not that I'm trying to rush through them, of course, but this one is just really good. So I think this is the one I might be concentrating on tonight during the sprints. And then the other one is that I decided to, I don't even know if I'm going to start this yet. I might just wait. Like I said this last week, but I might just go ahead and just keep reading Holiday at Mistletoe Cottage and then pick this one up next or something like that. But I started listening to The True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren. And I got through the prologue and I'm just like, I don't know if I'm feeling this book. Like it didn't feel like The Unhoneymooners and stuff like that. So I know this is the sequel kind of in a way to the other one that they did, The Soulmate Equation, because this character, the main character in this book, appeared in that book. So it's like kind of like it's a series, but it's not, you know what I mean? It's like a companion novel, if you will. So I went on Goodreads and I was looking at the reviews, and very mixed reviews for that book. A lot of people did not like it for certain things, and I did read a few spoilers, and there was something that happens in that book towards the end, and you know what? I'm glad I'm not reading it. I'm going to put, if you guys have not read it, but you want to know the spoiler to see whether or not, because I think it's not necessarily a trigger per se, but it's something that for me, I draw a hard line in the sand for, and I cannot appreciate a character who has done this. So finger up if you do not want to hear what the spoiler is. As soon as I put my finger down, you can come back. So the spoiler supposedly, now I haven't read it, I'm reading what other people have said, is that the male lead admits to the fact to our female lead that he cheated on his wife while she was at home with their kid. And he gets mad at our female lead because she gets mad at him for doing that. That's my hard line in the sand, is cheating. You cannot come back off of that as far as I'm concerned. Once a cheat, always a cheat. You guys want to argue this to me in the comments, by all means, feel free. I've been in this kind of relationship before and it never changes. So, you know, it's, to me, I mean, it's not the same thing, but it's like saying, well, I drove drunk like only once. Yeah, no, you never do any, no, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's a hard line in the sand for me. It's a no. So spoiler over now. So that is why I decided to put down The True Love Experiment. I probably will not pick it back up, just knowing that now. It is a thing. So, but I'm like, but I want another book, and I was in the mood for another Christmas story. So I grabbed this one on audio as well. But again, I'm back to, I don't feel like listening to audio. Like, maybe it's because I've had a couple of bum audiobooks. I don't know. But I started listening to this one on audio and I wasn't loving the narrator, but I definitely want to read it. So when I'm done the Nancy Robards Thompson book, I'm going to be picking up Christmas at the Cat Cafe by Jessica Redland. So this will be my next book. So yeah, so that's that. I don't know if I'm going to read them together. I haven't decided. I just kind of want to just read one book at a time, and I think I'm just going to try that and see how that works out for me. Anyway, guys, I got to jet, get to my live reading sprints, so I will talk to you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Early in the morning here, and we are watching the squirrels, and sitting on the table, which we're not supposed to be doing. Georgie. Georgie. But Missy has the spot, don't you, ma'am? The perfect spot. There's a heater, a vent, keeping her toasty warm, and she has perfect view of the squirrels and the birds, don't you, ma'am? And George just wants to eat the plants. Don't you, handsome? Oh, you're a funny guy. Oh, you're a funny guy.
Hi friends, happy Tuesday. Today is the 14th of November and coming to you with a very quick reading update for today. So I'm in bed, I'm relaxing. I did my little walk that I talked about 3 days in a row now, I think. Hit my step count goal as well of 5,000 steps. So I'm very proud of myself. So yeah, so typical day at work, nothing really exciting to talk about. Reading wise, it's a little chilly in here. Sorry, I've got my electric blanket on in my lap. I am now about 40% of the way through Holiday at Mistletoe Cottage by Nancy Robards Thompson, and I am really enjoying this one. Yeah, I think it's a really fun second chance romance. There appears now to be a group of secret Santas that are helping Avery kind of get, not her Christmas spirit. It's not like she's lacking Christmas spirit, but lack of faith in other people, lack in, you know, she's always been like, this is, you know, she doesn't trust very easily. And so now it's every chapter you're getting like what day it is. Like, is it the 3rd of December, the 4th of December, what have you? And every day she's getting a new Advent thing to do in town or to participate in. Like, we're on day 3 now, I think, and it's like, go to the tree lighting ceremony in town. Well, she wasn't going to go because she doesn't want to be part of this town. She's only in Tinsley Cove to kind of clear out her grandmother's house and make a decision if she's going to sell or not. Now, on the flip side, what else is happening is, of course, Forrest is a real estate agent, and the family's like, oh, there are tons of people who want to buy that house. So I have a feeling what the conflict is going to end up being is, was Forrest being nice to her? Like, is she thinking, was Forrest just being nice to her to get the listing for the house, kind of an idea. So I think that's the direction that we're going in. We shall see if I'm correct. But yeah, I'm enjoying this. I'm hoping to read another couple chapters tonight before bed. So yesterday at work, I had started on audio Christmas. I think I had talked about the fact that I had started the Christina Lauren book and I DNF'd it. And I was going to then start, I decided, I just kind of looked through my Kindle on what was on there, and I found Christmas at the Cat Cafe by Jessica Redland, and I found it on Scribe or Everland or whatever the new service, whatever they changed the name of Scribe to. I found it on there to listen to on audio, so I started listening to it yesterday at work, and I couldn't get into it. I'm like, no, that's okay, I'm going to put it down for now. So this morning when I was getting ready for work, and I was about to head downstairs to go and make my lunch, I thought, let's put it on again on audio and let's just see, you know, how it goes. So I started listening to it. I listened to it while I was making my lunch. I listened to it on my way to work. And I just finished reading a chapter sitting here in bed. So like I said, Christmas at the Cat Cafe by Jessica Redland. I do have this on my Kindle. This is a UK chick lit novel. And I'm really enjoying it. So I think what I have to realize is that I can't start an audiobook at work. I have to already kind of be established with that audiobook before I can listen to it at work, because my mind does tend not drift. And I shouldn't say that, but I think you guys might know what I mean, maybe. Like, you know, I've now got the book established in my head. I can listen to a bit of it at work, but I kind of like today I actually watched YouTube videos at work, and they don't care, like, as long as you get your work done. So I downloaded a bunch of them on my phone and I was watching them today at work. So I kind of really enjoyed that. And I'm like, I think I'm going to save the audio for to and from work, because I listened to it on the way home a bit too. But anyway, I want to talk about this one really, really quickly, because this happened to me before, back in 2020 when we lost my dad. The month after he passed away, there was a book at random that I had borrowed, and it was a Sophie Kinsella book. I cannot remember the title of it now. Oh, it always escapes me. I Owe You One is what it was called. So the book was about like this woman who, she ends up helping this stranger, and then they keep like going back and forth helping each other, kind of like that I owe you one. Like she saves his laptop. He's like, oh, I owe you one. And then he helps her with something, and it goes back and forth, and it ends up being this romance. And it's super cute. But what got me, and it wasn't even expected, was that the main character in that book had lost her father like 10 years earlier, right? So it was quite a bit of time. Like for me at the time I read the book, I think it was less than a month after we had lost Dad. But in that book, it really helped me because it talked a lot about grief and a lot about missing somebody and how close her and her dad were. And even after 10 years, you can still feel the same way and not feel bad about it. Like you're still missing the person, but you're living your life, kind of an idea, right? And that really put things into perspective for me. And it ended up being one of my 5-star reads of the year, that year. And it was one of those, the right book at the right time. I think this has happened again, okay? So I was not expecting where this book went, but I am just, yeah, okay. So plot of the story is our main character named, why is her name escaping me? Silly, silly girl. This is going to drive me. It's told in first person. So that's fun. His name, Tabby. It's a cat's name, like Tabitha. Her name's Tabby. Okay. So she had this dream of building and running a cat cafe. Okay. So she was going to run this cat cafe, and you know, basically a cafe with cats in it. This takes place in Whitesborough's Bay. Like, if you've ever read Jessica Redland, most of her stories take place in the same, I think it's a fictional town in the UK, but I'm not absolutely certain. So essentially, her and her boyfriend at the time were going to run it, spoiler alert, and stuff happens. Her and the boyfriend end up breaking up, and around this same time, like 18 months before, like before they even bought the cafe or before they were going to get the balls rolling, she was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, okay? So I know a few people who have this, and I get that it's a horrible, horrible, I wouldn't wish it on anyone. Just from what I've read about it, from what I've heard about it from other people, it's not pleasant. So she's been diagnosed with this. So she really needs Leon, the boyfriend, to help her with this cafe, because there's going to be days that she can't do anything. There's going to be days that she's having a flare-up, or days that she's too tired, or days that she's in too much pain. And she's a very independent person, and she's like, she hasn't even told her family how bad some of these flare-ups can be. So that's at the point we're at now. I'm about a quarter of the way through this. So unfortunately, spoiler alert, you would know this if you read the back of the book. Her and the boyfriend have split up, so now she's alone. And the cafe hasn't opened yet. She doesn't know what to do. She's like, how can I possibly run a cafe when there are days that I might not be able to get out of bed because I am in pain, or I am fatigued, or I have brain fog, or whatever the case may be from this chronic condition that she now suffers from. So we're at this point in the story right now where she is trying to figure out how to deal with this and what decision to make. Like, should she keep the cafe? Should she sell the cafe? What have you, right? So her aunt and her cousin both also have fibro. So she's reached out to the both of them, and the aunt is very bitter and very angry and, you know, makes these comments about her own daughter, like, you don't have it as bad as I do because you seem to be fine, but I'm, you know, so it just kind of goes to show the different attitudes you can have with a chronic condition, right? With the fact that a month ago I was diagnosed with heart failure, and I've been reading a lot about it, and I know it's different. I'm not comparing that and fibro at all, but they're both chronic conditions. There's no cure for either of them. kind of have to figure out how to live with it to the best life that you can possibly live, kind of an idea. And just now, as I was about to turn on the camera to talk to you guys, I got to a point in the book and I just went like, I had to share this. So she's having this Facebook conversation. Like, she had a phone call with her cousin who was super helpful and gave her lots of info, sent her links to different websites and all these things. And then the aunt came on, was pretty much being a cow. So they're going back and forth, and she says the aunt called her own daughter a bloody murder. Like, the aunt's a delightful person. But then the next thing is so she says, the last unnecessary comment from Auntie Sonia didn't warrant a response or even a reaction. I suspected she wasn't alone out there with how she felt about the cards she'd been dealt, but I wanted to be more like Fiona, the cousin. I'd been an independent, positive person before. Now I couldn't be quite as independent as I used to be, but there was no reason why I couldn't still be positive. The right book at the right time. It's a silly thing. It's a single line, but that's exactly how I feel. Like, this sucks. What I'm having to deal with right now sucks. Huge. And I'm going to need help. And I'm going to need a lot of things. And I don't want to feel like a burden to people, right? And there was another line in the book earlier from the boyfriend, actually, before they broke up. Obviously, like, not long after she was diagnosed. And she says, you know, I know you didn't ask for this, so, you know, I'm not going to be mad if you decide that you want it, that we're done. Like, this was way before. And his comment to her was, well, you didn't ask for this either. And I'm just like, so yeah. It's talking in here as well about the spoons method, or the spoons theory, which I'd heard about it, but I wasn't, so I've been researching. Here I am reading like a fiction book about a woman with a cat cafe, and I'm finding out about like the spoons thing, where if you're not familiar with what it is, it was kind of created by this woman who, her friend was asking her what it was like to live with lupus and fibro and all those things, and she's like, imagine you start your day with 12 spoons, and you, the activities that you do take spoons away. Some activities you lose more spoons, like, you know, cooking dinner and eating dinner will lose 3 spoons, whereas maybe reading a book you lose 1 spoon. Showering is 2 spoons, and you need to decide how are you going to spend your day. You know what I mean? Like, it was really interesting, and as this progresses for me and as things, I'm hoping it's not for a while, but yeah, I had to share that with you guys. So, needless to say, I am very much enjoying this book. I mean, Jessica Redland, I have not read a book by her that I did not like. So, yes. I may not have a fibro diagnosis. It's something else. But I think anyone with a chronic condition might be able to understand and appreciate this. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, I've rambled. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. I just wanted to share that with all of you. And so I'm going to continue reading another couple of chapters of this before bed. And then that's about it, you guys. So like I said, I did my walk. I'm very proud, you know, trying to control what I can control, which I think makes a big difference too. So anyway, guys, I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Hi, friends. Happy Thursday. Today is the 16th of November, and it is 7 o'clock at night. How are you guys doing? I did not update you yesterday. Today actually, I had a test down at the hospital. So last night I was pretty tired. I came home. I just didn't feel like doing too much. So I just kind of had my bath, and then I went and laid down and I relaxed. I knew I was going to not sleep well last night because I was very nervous about today's test. Shouldn't have been. It was fine. So if my throat, while I'm talking, if my voice goes in and out, that's the reason why, is because of the test today. So I had I don't know what it's called, endoscopy. They had to put the tube down, the camera down. Anyway, it was unpleasant. Actually, you know what? I can't even say that. It was not. The most unpleasant thing was the IV that they went again after my hand. They keep going after my poor hands. But I had to be completely not completely knocked out, but I was heavily sedated for the procedure. the anesthesiologist said to me, she's like, you'll probably hear some talking during, you know, but don't worry about it. That's fine. You'll pretty much just be like drifting in and out of sleep. And I thought, okay, I can handle that. So we got in the room and they got me kind of all prepped up and stuff like that. And then she says to me, okay, hon, she goes, I'm gonna give you a little bit of medicine to help you relax. And then literally it felt like a second later, I felt like the gurney moving. And I'm like, okay, they're probably repositioning, you know, just so I'm at a good angle for the doctor to do the procedure. And I'm like, no, I'm already in recovery. I have no memory, none of the procedure. So when I saw the anesthesiologist again, I said, my friend, you did a brilliant job. You are my new favorite person. It's just, you know, I don't know if I actually have any, like if I was conscious for any of the procedure, but I have no memory of it. And that's what the important thing is. So yeah, it was fine. And I got the results like right away, pretty much. And everything looks fantastic. So very, very happy about all of that. But because I was sedated, I could not go back to work today. Like I got home just before lunch. And once I was able to sit up and move around, you know, and the sedation kind of wears off a bit, I felt fine. And I'm like, oh, geez, I'm going to go home. I'm going to read this afternoon. I'm going to watch some booktube videos, enjoy the rest of my day off, essentially, right? Because I booked the whole day off of work because I can't drive or operate any heavy machinery or anything at all like that. And I thought, oh, this is fantastic. So my brother came and picked Garrett and I up and he brought us home. And by the time I got home, I was done. I was wiped out. I laid down in bed and I slept for like 2.5 hours. But now I'm awake. I've done some reading and I thought I would pop on here. I filmed Friday's video and now I thought I would just sit here and talk to you guys in regards to what I read today. And plus I have some book adjacent mail that I got yesterday that I thought I would show you guys. So the first thing is that I ordered from Amazon. I ordered these like a few days ago. Oh, I didn't tell you guys what happened yesterday. Oh my gosh. I swear, it's just been an absolute joy for me in the last few days. So Wednesday morning, on my way to work, I stopped for gas. And I look at my front passenger side tire and I'm like, that looks kind of low. And I get closer and I look and there's a nail embedded in the tire. I'm like, not what I needed. So I drove it to a Mr. Lube, like a lube oil tire place. And I get it in there and they had patched a tire for me before about 2 years earlier. It's like $50 and I'm like, okay, it is what it is. So I get there and the guy comes out, he's like, yeah, he goes, we can't patch that. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't patch that? You patched one for me before. And he's like, no, he goes, it's in the wall of the tire, not in the tread, but in the wall. And he goes, you can't patch that. You have to replace the tire. And I'm like, I said, can you do that? And he's like, yeah, I can do that. We can do that. No problem. We have to just order the tires in. And I'm like, how long is that going to be? He says, oh, we can have the car back to you by the end of the night, like by the end of the day, excuse me. And this was like 8:45 in the morning. And I'm like, fantastic. He says, the only problem is you can't just order one tire. You need to order 2. And it's this much for installation and it's this much to dispose of for environmental, whatever, your old tires. And it ended up being $700 yesterday, you guys. So before my money all had gone flying away, I had ordered something from Amazon for myself. So I'm not just spending money recklessly. I had ordered this beforehand, but it showed up yesterday. I kind of needed some fun bookish related mail yesterday. So the first thing I got was a cover for my Libra 2.0. So this is just a clear case. I like these better than the regular covers because then I can put them in the book sleeves. But if I drop this, it's protected, which is what I want. So it's lighter than having an actual case and you don't have the opening and closing, which I really, to be honest, don't like. Sorry, but I really wanted, so I ordered this. It's like $15. And so that's the one thing that I got. And then I did get some new book sleeves. I have a problem with book sleeves. So this one was on sale from Maple Leaf Stitching. I will leave a link to both of these Etsy shops in the description box below. I just thought this one was so cute. And this is the mini size. So they're cats with glasses. So we have George and Missy and Presley. I just thought it was just the cutest. Bernard. We have, well, Bernard or Goran, one or the other. Oh yeah, well that one's in pink, so it's Goran. Goran loved the color pink. Don't ask me why. Oh, that's also pink. I thought that was, okay, it's a different color. Anyway, oh, look at that one. Isn't that cute? So yeah, so I really, really like the fabric on this one. That's why I buy these, is because I fall in love with the fabric. And then this other shop called Lucky Duck Designs, which I love both of them, but Lucky Duck I do like a little bit better, mainly because they've got this great little, like, she puts these on there with the little button. I could get my aunt to do it with these ones for me, which would be great because, you know, if your device is in there and it turns upside down, it's less chance of it falling out, right? But I loved the fabric on this one. So yeah, so Lucky Duck, that's upside down. Lucky Duck Designs. I think this was the last one, but with the kind of Starbucks cups with the snowflakes and the candy canes and the candy. I just thought it was so delightfully adorable. Nicely padded too. I really like that. Both of them are. And then this one I'll show you. It is maple leaf stitching. Both of them are Canadian. So that's why I'm kind of showcasing them, because they're Canadian, you know. And my other book sleeves that I'm currently using are both Lucky Duck Designs as well. So yeah, I do love my book sleeves, and I love them for books and mostly for my e-readers. So yeah, so that is that. So that was all the fun. That was my book adjacent mail. What else do I have to share with you guys? Well, what I'm actually reading. So yesterday I did not get a ton of reading done. I think I read like 30 or 40 pages. It was kind of a stressful day yesterday with the car, and work was busy and all the things. And then today I was in the hospital for the whole morning. So not a lot of reading time. Came home, napped, and I did wait when I woke up, because I woke up about 4 o'clock, and I did get some reading done. So I've done a bit of reading so far today, but I want to get a bit more read before bed. I mean, it's only 7 o'clock. I'm going to try and keep myself up till at least 10, and then get a proper good night's sleep. So my goal tonight, because I only have 3 chapters left, is to finish Holiday at Mistletoe Cottage by Nancy Robards Thompson. This is the Harlequin special edition that I've been reading. I'm not going to talk about it right now. I will talk about it tomorrow. What is all over the back of this device? Okay then. We will, looks like I think I was holding something. I think I was holding this with sticky hands. Now, see those clear cases? I cannot find one for the Sage. And I want one, because then it would keep my sticky fingerprints off of it and keep it protected. I don't know why I can't find one. Maybe they just don't make them yet. And I also can't find one for the Oasis. Is it the Oasis? The Kindle Oasis. Or the Kobo. Now I can find it for the Kobo Clara 2E, the new one, but I can't find it for the original, the 2018. So I'm gonna have to keep hunting. If anyone knows where I can find those, just those clear cases, let me know. Anyway, back to the book. So yeah, so I have 3 chapters left on this. I'm not going to talk on it right now because I am going to finish it today. So I will talk to you guys about it tomorrow for sure. And I'm going to do some more reading. Let me put this back in the other cat case that I have. I do love me a good cat book sleeve. I have a clear case for this one. This is my Paperwhite with my Presley eating pizza sticker on the back, which is why I love the clear case, because now you can see Presley eating pizza. I am still reading, and I'm only about 30% of the way through Christmas at the Cat Cafe by Jessica Redland. I talked about this one the other night. I did not read any of it yesterday, but I've read another couple chapters today, so I hope to get a couple more in before I get to bed, but my priority is the Nancy Robards Thompson book, and then I can go ahead and jump back into this one. And this is living in another Lucky Duck design bag of the Golden Girls, which I also love. So anyway, guys, that's it. Yeah, been a couple of days, but tomorrow's Friday. And the weekend, which will be lovely, so I can relax and enjoy. Today was not that bad. You know, you always kind of build these things up to be worse than they actually are. But I think this is, I don't think I have to go back to the hospital until next week. I know, it's sad that that's exciting. Like, usually it's a couple times a week, but I don't think it's till next Friday when I have my final iron infusion thing. So that'll be good. But yeah, so anyway, guys, that's it. I will let you go, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Hi, friends. Happy Friday. Today is the 17th. Yes, it is the 17th of November, and it is just before 8 o'clock at night. Here with a reading update for you guys for today. Got the tree, and I turned the houses on. So these little houses are LED lights inside them, and they're so cute. I just love them so much. When I showed you guys the tree originally, I had two, and I found a third one at Walmart last week, a different one. So I've got a red one, pink one, and a black and white one, and I love them so much. They're so cute. But anyway, reading update and kind of just day update. So Friday work, it was really busy today because I was off yesterday. So, you know, you're kind of playing catch up all day. I got in there early. Actually, the traffic was really, really good today, which was great. I think because a lot of the kids, the school districts around the area had the day off for a PA day or professional, whatever it's called. I don't know. So the kids were off of school, so the traffic was a lot lighter than normal. So I got into work early, which was great, and I worked through my lunch, which is fine. It is what it is. I've had a lot of time off work lately because of appointments, and my work has been more than generous. So I am not, you know, I will work through. I usually get an hour for lunch. So I'm trying to take like only a half an hour or something like that just to try and make up some time. But yeah, anyway, left at 5, happy to be home. I did start last night. Now, I started watching the series weeks and like a couple months ago, and I can't remember what station it was on. It was on one you had to pay for, and I didn't want to pay for it because it was like $10 or $12 a month, and I only wanted to watch this one show. It was like an offset of Prime, like, you know, through Amazon Prime. Oh, if you buy this station, I think it was Stack TV or something like that. Like, really, there wasn't a lot that I wanted to watch on. I just really wanted to watch this one show. So I watched like a episode or two, and then I didn't get to watch the rest of them, and then my brother got them. So I now have the whole series. It's 4 seasons, and it's called The Food That Built America. There's one of several. There's The Brands That Built America, The Toys That Built America, which is fantastic. But it's really delves into the history of different foods and food items. So last night I watched the first episode of the 2nd season, and it was the Pizza Wars. So it was Domino's versus Pizza Hut, and I am a huge fan of Pizza Hut. I know it's really a divide, right? Like, you either love it or you hate it. Same with Domino's. And I love Pizza Hut. So I said to Garrett today, I'm like, I really want Pizza Hut for dinner tonight. So that's what we had. So the one I just watched was on candy. It was on Hershey's, Reese's, and the Babe Ruth candy bar. And the one I'm about to watch, it's queued up so I can watch it when I am done talking to you lovelies, is the Burger King McDonald's. So that one should be really good. Are you Team Whopper or Team Big Mac? I am honestly Team Whopper, you guys. McDonald's fries, no one holds a candle to their fries. They are the best French fries, especially when they're fresh. But there's just something about a Whopper that I just love. Absolutely, with cheese. You got to get it with cheese. So anyway, now that I've made all of you hungry, let's talk books. So yesterday, I finished a book. Yay! I finished Holiday at Mistletoe Cottage by Nancy Robard Thompson, the second book in the McFadden's of Tinsley Cove series. I like this one. I gave it 4 stars. I didn't like it quite as much as the first book, and the only reason is because the relationship between Avery and Forrest, I felt was like came out of nowhere in a way. So the plot of this one is that our main character, Avery, she's a photojournalist, and she grew up with parents who traveled all over the world doing photography, animals, people, war zone, like all the things. And Avery pretty much traveled with them. And then something happened the year before her senior year in high school, and both of her parents were killed. So she ends up going to live with her grandmother in this tiny town of Tinsley Cove in North Carolina. And so she spends a year living there. So she kind of has a crush on this guy named Forrest, who is like the popular boy in school and yada, yada, yada. And then someone tells her, they're like, hey, he really wants to go out with you, but he's kind of shy. So he wants you to meet you at this restaurant and order his dinner because he's going to be late. And it turns out, of course, to be a whole big setup. So the poor girl's completely embarrassed. And she's just like, you know what? I don't want to talk to anybody in this town. They're clearly all, you know, she spent her entire childhood by herself. Like, she had her parents, but without other children and without, you know, that social circle kind of an idea. So anyway, at the beginning of the book, her grandmother has just passed away and left the house in Tinsley Cove to Avery. So Avery comes back to deal with the house and runs into Forrest, who just happens, of course, now to live next door. He is like the mayor of the town. He's so perfect. So what I did like is that I thought, oh gosh, please don't let this drama that happened in high school drag out throughout the entire course of the book, but it didn't. They literally had a conversation and it was cleared up. I mean, she was still annoyed, but I'm like, girl, it's high school. Just drop it. I don't understand people carrying stuff like that into their, like, I can understand if you've been out of high school for 2 or 3 years, but like, you're in your 30s. Let it go. So anyway, you know, of course, you know, then it starts out with, oh no, then it goes into, should she sell the grandmother's house? Should she keep the grandmother's house? And I thought another conflict was going to actually be because, of course, Forrest works for his parents' real estate agency. Were they going to kind of force her or try? Was it going to be like, oh, he's courting me just to get his hands on the listing for this house, which, you know, but it was a lot more than that. It was more about the two of them, about her, whether she would stay in Tinsley Cove or whether she would leave, you know, like for this job, because like I said, she's a photojournalist. So it was good. I liked it. But like I said, it just felt like the relationship came out of nowhere. Like all of a sudden, oh, guess what? They're dating now. And I'm like, wait, hold on. Like they go from like, she doesn't like him. I mean, he's got a crush on her. She doesn't like him to blah, blah, blah. And he's held a candle for her since high school. Again, guys, we are not the same people we were in high school. I mean, I can understand you're like, oh my gosh, the girl I had a crush on in high school is back. And, you know, now you start to get to know her again. And it's like, okay, yeah, I still really like her. We still have a lot in common. That I can buy. But the fact he's like, I've been in love with her since high school. Like, dude, you never talked to her. You never went out with her. How is that possible? You know what I mean? Anyway, so those were just a few of the things that kind of bugged me. But outside of that, like really, it was a cute and fun story. It was a great little holiday book too, where these secret Santas are giving all these tasks to Avery to complete to get her really into the Christmas spirit, because she's a bit of a Scrooge. And understandably, I mean, she lost her grandmother in the fall, and this is the first holiday without her and things like that. But I think just in general, she was just a Scrooge. She was the one who would always work on Christmas because she didn't have a family and blah, blah, blah. And now she's feeling guilty because her grandmother wanted her to be there with her for Christmas and she never was. So, you know, getting past that guilt and all those things. It was good. I mean, for a romance novel, the romance I found lacking, but everything else was fantastic. So what am I currently reading, my friends? I am still reading Christmas at the Cat Cafe by Jessica Redland. I am about 30% of the way through this one. I only got a couple of chapters read of this one today, but I plan on reading some more. Actually, I'm going to try and read a couple chapters before I watch the McDonald's Burger King episode. Do a little reading, watch a little TV, because if not, I would just sit and read. And then the other one that I started last night, or I started today, because I finished the Nancy Robards Thompson, is Captured on Kauai by Arbery Flowers. It is this one down here. I am reading the bind up. It's an intrigue novel. I am reading it from the bind up. I'm not reading all three of the books, just that one. I borrowed this from the library. And it is the second book in the Hawaii CI series, which I started last month. So I'm about 3 or 4 chapters of the way through this one already, and I am really enjoying it so far. I mean, these books are really great. So yeah. So anyway, guys, that's it. Just a quick little check-in. Tomorrow, Saturday, will be the final clip of the vlog. Garrett and I are going to do our usual Walmart shopping trip. And yeah, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Hi, friends. Happy Saturday. Today is the 18th of November, and it is just after 8 o'clock at night. So I completely forgot up until just a few minutes ago that I needed to film a clip for today. Usually I try and film my clips earlier on Saturday and then edit the vlog so it's all set to go. Probably I'll edit this one tomorrow on Sunday and get it posted. No problem at all. I'm not worried about it. Tomorrow's a big hockey day for Garrett. I guess there's a team playing in Sweden and they're playing at like 8 in the morning Eastern Standard. So Garrett's got hockey all day tomorrow, so he's pretty happy about that. So this morning we went to Walmart, did some groceries. We didn't buy a lot of stuff, but we picked up a few things, and then came home, sorry, try not to yawn, relaxed for a bit. Then I ended up doing, well, I did do a live show at noon today, just for a couple of hours, just some live reading sprints, which was great. I got some reading done, which was fantastic. And then we went back out to the store again, to a different store, because we had to pick up some things that the first store that we went to did not have. And then we came home, and I was pretty much watching TV. I've still been watching that, The Food That Built America, which is great. And then I actually was super tired, so I decided to have a quick nap. So I laid down for like an hour or so, got up, had dinner, and then now I'm like sitting up here and I'm watching BookTube, which is great, doing some reading, like watching a video, doing some reading, yada, yada, yada. And I'm just about to go downstairs and make myself a nice hot chocolate. So, because it's like 8 o'clock and I thought that'll be a nice little snack before bed. But I thought I'd pop in, of course, with a reading update for today after all that yammering of my entire boring day. So today I did finish a book. I finished Logan Likes Marianne by N.M. Martin. This is the edition that I read. I was looking for the next book that I'm going to be reading in the Babysitters Club series. And I found the original, like this is the remake, like after the Netflix series came out. They redid, I really think these covers are adorably cute, but I found the original that I did have in my collection. So I'm going to be keeping both the original and this version. But yeah, and then I was looking for, like I said, the next book, which is Christy and the Snobs, and I actually have 2 copies of the original. So I've put one of them aside, not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. In all honesty, I want to say, like, if any of you are collecting them and you need book number 11, let me know. But, yeah, just let me know in the comments. I'll send it out your way. So yeah, so I finished this. I gave it 4 stars. It was super cute. This, of course, is Marianne is the youngest of the babysitters, like, in terms of when her birth date falls. And so she's the last one to turn 13. And she's very shy, very quiet, and Logan is the new boy at school, and they kind of ask him to join the Babysitters Club, but it's really embarrassing for him to be at the meetings with the girls, and, you know, they talk about boys and stuff like that, and of course they can't do that with Logan there. And then Stacy throws Marianne this birthday party, and it's not a surprise party. It's like Marianne knows it's a party, but then they do a surprise part of it for her birthday, and Marianne gets embarrassed, and she leaves, and it's a really cute story. I really like Marianne as a character in this one. She's trying to get over her shyness. I love the fact that, you know, there's a note in the back of this from N.M. Martin saying that, you know, she knew she wanted one of the babysitters to have a steady boyfriend, and liked the fact that it was Marianne, the quietest and the shyest of all of them. That, you know what I mean? So yeah, really cute. Highly enjoyed it very much. So what am I currently reading? I am still reading, I'm about 40% of the way through Captured on Kauai. Let me hold it up here. By Arbery Flowers. Reading this on my Kobo Libra 2. This I'm reading, it's part of a bind up, so which is why the cover kind of looks like that on it, and my device is on for you guys to be able to see the cover. If not, I don't know if I showed this to you yesterday or not, so if not, that's what the cover would look like of the bind up. So I'm reading the last book in the bind up. I'm not going to read all of them. I'm only going to read that one book, and then I'm going to return it to the library. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I'm like 40% of the way through. Something about drug smuggling, and, you know, our main character Dex is staying at this resort, undercover. He's playing the piano player, like he plays piano, and he is undercover as the piano player, and he is looking for this drug smuggling operation, and he thinks that the woman who runs the resort is part of it. Her husband died 6 months ago, and there's a lot going. It takes place in Hawaii. It's really good. I'm really enjoying it. And I've talked about this one quite a bit already, but I'm now almost halfway through it, and I'm really enjoying it. I just had put it down for a few days. I talked about, I think, on audio. I started it on audio, but I wasn't loving the audio because I didn't really notice a difference in the narrator's voice between characters. So now I'm just reading it. I think I'm just taking a break from audio right now, which is fine. So Christmas at the Cat Cafe by Jessica Redland. I've talked about this one all week. I hope to get this one done in the next few days. I'll get it done when I get it done. It's not a race. Reading is not a race. I am enjoying both of these books, and yeah. So anyway, guys, that's it. I'll call it for this vlog. I don't know how many other clips and videos I got. I think I got some of like the outside wildlife over the course of the week. It's been a bit of a rough week with that hospital appointment and then my car, and all things. So yeah, and tomorrow's Sunday, so I'm looking forward to having, you know, another day to rest and relax, which is pretty much what I plan on doing all day. But I will be starting another vlog tomorrow. Videos coming up this week. On Tuesday, there will be a live show here on the channel, and it's going to be, I think it's with Steve Donahue. I will double check, but I think we are going to be going over all of the Harlequin new releases for the month of December. We did this last month and you guys really seem to enjoy it, so we'll be doing that again this week. So that'll be on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then on Thursday, I'm going to be doing my Debbie Makeover video, going through not all of, but as many as I can of Debbie's category romance books that are now renamed or have new titles. So, you know, if you're looking for the Debbie December that I'm co-hosting, if you are looking for a book to read for the category romance prompt, this should be some help to you, because I know a lot of you are probably like, well, those were published a long time ago. Probably gonna have to buy a copy, but not necessarily. They've all been republished because it's Queen Debbie. All of her stuff has been republished several times over. So I'm going to do a whole video kind of talking about that. Of course, next Friday it will be my weekly TBR video. And then next Saturday, I will be doing another live group of reading sprints at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So put that on your calendar if you are interested in joining us. So yeah, that's it, you guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Any questions or comments, please post them below. And until my next video, everybody, take care and happy reading. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, guys.